What's good? It's your boy Fanon. All right, we're a couple hours away from the main event of the evening. Just got done watching the Dillian White and Joseph Parker fight. I'll talk about that in another video after I get done with this. But I shifted my mind onto the main event for the IBF and WBC, excuse me, lightweight championship of the world. Like, first, before I get into that, thank you for everybody for tuning into the channel. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we drop more videos and have live streams. Unfortunately, have not been able to do a live stream over the last couple of days because I am in the heavy lifting stage of moving and packing to head to the great state of Texas. So haven't been able to do that, but I wanted to take a second to talk about this fight that's coming up because you know I ain't gonna miss the fight now. All right, this is my prediction, man. Mikey Garcia wins in a unanimous decision. And because I have to lean with the fact that I don't like Robert Easter's jab. For me, I might be willing to say, look, this fight could be even money, or there could be a real good chance for an upset. But the way that Robert Easter Jr. throws his jab kind of flicking out, I don't think that that's going to do enough to prevent Mikey Garcia from countering his jab. And that, I think, is going to be the difference of the fight. And that's what I think. What I'm hoping, and I got to admit it here, just so you guys can put on record, I can put this on record. I like Robert Easter Jr. I'm rooting for Robert Easter Jr. Because I really think that Robert Easter Jr. is I think he's a good fighter, and I wanted to see unification, and I want to see a rematch that will allow Mikey Garcia to stay down there at 135 and hopefully come around to getting a good series of fights at 135 between Mikey Garcia, Robert Easter. I don't think that if Robert Easter wins, that Vasyl Lomachenko is going to fight him. Because if Robert Easter beats Mikey Garcia, then you can pretty much write that home. Lomachenko fight ain't happening. Because there's going to be, but hopefully there will be a rematch. But my thing is this, man. I don't think that I wouldn't bet that people can change tendencies, and Robert Easter Jr.'s spirit is that of a fighter. He's going to get down in his mind when those hands start throwing. He's going to try to get down, try to get dirty, and he's going to throw shots. And I think that more than likely is going to play into the hands of Mikey Garcia, because I think Mike Garcia is a very good counterpuncher. He's a smart boxer. He's a patient boxer. And I think that he's got a distinct power advantage over Robert Easter Jr. And I think that's going to come into play. But if Robert Easter Jr. was able to, if he had a jab that I could believe in, if he had a stick that could keep Mikey Garcia, get Mikey Garcia's respect, a snapping jab that he could land at a distance, and because he's got longer arms and he's taller than Mikey Garcia. I also think his hands are faster. But Mikey Garcia has excellent timing. Mikey Garcia has, at 135 pounds, I do believe he's got good power. The one thing that might affect that, though, for me, is that Mikey Garcia did not. Now, this is from the weigh-in, and this, so I don't want to call it nitpicking, but maybe it is nitpicking. But one thing that I noticed was that after the weigh-in, Mikey Garcia did not give an interview. He left the stage immediately. Mikey Garcia looked more drawn than I'd seen him, obviously, in the last two fights. But I think there might be a reason why Mikey Garcia has not fought at 135 and why he might be anxious to go to 147. At that weigh-in for 135, man, he looked he just looked drawn. He looked drawn in the face. He still I don't know, man. He's got this perennial fleshy look to his midsection, but in his jawline, if you ever look at the pictures, like go back and look at a picture of Mikey Garcia when Mikey Garcia was fighting at 126 pounds when he was with Bob Arum, and look at him now. It almost looks like two completely different people. Like, it is hard for me looking at a picture of Mikey Garcia when he was fighting at 126 and looking at Mikey Garcia when he's at 140. I mean, I know it's the same person, and in the center of their face, it looks like the same person. But because of the significant weight difference, what is that? 15-pound weight on somebody that's 140 pounds. That's over 10% of your body weight. He just looked like a significantly different guy. And I saw a little bit of that when he was at the weigh-in with Robert Easter Jr. I think that Robert Easter Jr. made 135 pounds a lot more comfortably than Mikey Garcia did. And so if there's any type of issue that comes from that for Mikey Garcia, any type of sluggishness and all that, then that might be something that Robert Easter can take advantage of. The way that I could see Robert Easter Jr. winning the fight or winning enough rounds to get a decision if and only if he's able to have a jab that consistently keeps Mikey Garcia thinking about coming in, and if he can score with that jab consistently throughout the rounds. Because when you have a guy that's 5'11", when people are saying, at least this is the way that I think about it, when people are saying that Robert Easter Jr. needs to fight tall, to me that means he needs to catch people. He needs to be able to stick his jab out, and he needs to be able to have a jab that makes people worry about coming in close, because that's the advantage that the taller fighter has. The taller fighter has a downward angle, which means a downward angle and a longer reach. And if Mikey Garcia has to figure out how to get on the inside of him, then that would be where the issue is. But again, Mikey Garcia's jab, Robert Easter Jr.'s jab, from the fight that I watched with Javier Fortuna, from the fight that I watched with Denis Shafikov, that's the one thing that I just do not have a lot of confidence in. The jab. If he uses that, and if Kevin Cunningham was able to make a miraculous change, I don't even think it's a miraculous change. I have a suspicion that he'll be doing that for the first 2 or 3 rounds. But when the question for me is, after he tries to stick that jab and that jab, the straight right hand, keeping him at a distance, using good footwork to keep his space, to keep the proper space between he and Robert Easter. Between Mikey Garcia, when Mikey Garcia tries to step in and starts trying to pressure him, which he will he revert? Will he lose patience? Will he revert to getting in there, getting in the mix, getting close to him, exchanging hooks with him, doing that type of thing? If he does that, then Mikey can get him in some trouble, because Mikey Garcia can go to his body. And just looking at the frame of Robert Easter Jr., I think Robert Easter Jr. is going to have a hard time if Mikey Garcia is able to, use a left hook to the body, right hook, straight right to the body. That's going to wear and tear on a guy that's that tall and that thin. Because he is a tall guy, he's just not a very big guy. So, that's my take on it. Now, I have to admit, ever since Adrian Bronner, that's why I said I was going to fess up. I think I said at the beginning of the video, I'm going to fess up. And this is to Saul Gutierrez, because maybe Saul Gutierrez will listen long enough to this video to get to me talking to him. I did not like that Bronner loss. Since I've done this channel, I think that's the only fight that I called wrong. Mikey Garcia versus Adrian Bronner. And it's not that I called it wrong in the outcome, because I favored Mikey Garcia to win. I just thought that Adrian Brawner could make a better fight of it, and I didn't believe that he should be a 5-1 favorite. This fight, I think, is a different fight from Adrian Brawner, and I think that it is not going to be. I think it's Mikey Garcia's, or excuse me, rather Robert Easter's tendency or desire to engage that could become more of the problem, where versus Adrian Brawner, who wants to kind of sit back, parry punches, and then counter. That was the problem with him. But at the end of the day, man, I think it's going to be a very, very entertaining fight. I see it being a unanimous decision because it's in LA. So, I would think it would be a unanimous decision for Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia is the bigger name or whatever. And I honestly, man, I think he's a more fundamentally sound boxer, but I don't see that Robert Easter Jr. is going to necessarily has the power to overwhelm him and really hurt him, make him think about what he's doing, and have the discipline to use a good solid jab that's gonna keep Mikey Garcia at bay. So, I'm rooting for Robert Easter Jr., but hey man, that's my thought on the fight. And with that, I'm out. Peace.